Yeah. Hey, let's bring it out the brooms. Bring it out. I love it. I love it. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. Jays win 9-6 over the Minnesota Twins and complete the sweep. We didn't say it in the description or any, well, I mean, maybe we say it earlier in the video yesterday, but otherwise, they got the sweep, they got it done, but man, these were grinded out games. I mean, really. Minnesota averaged over 7 runs per game in this series. But we found a way to sweep them, and it was a good it was a good day. It was a darn good day, to say the least. R.A. Dickey does not have the greatest start. Gives up 3 walks, 6 hits, 5 runs. Only 3 were earned, but not really a great outing for him. He goes 6 innings. I mean, I don't know why he went out for the 6th inning. I mean, in the previous inning, he gave up. He gave up 4 runs, walked a couple guys, gave up like 3 hits or so, and you put him out again. I mean, good news is he got out of that 6th inning, but I'm still kind of baffled why you did it then, right? But you know what? It worked out in the end. Brett Cecil gives up a hit in his inning, but he gets a strikeout facing 2 lefties. Maybe they're answering the call of maybe he should be a lefty specialist only, because he should be. Scott Feldman, now this was a turning point in the game in my opinion. I think everyone can agree with this in a sense. Scott Feldman comes on, is facing Trevor Plouffe, the right-handed batter. They take Cecil out to face the righty, okay. And after a couple pitches, Tulowitzki comes in. He comes into the mound, brings out Josh Tolley, tells him to come on out. They all come out. Tulowitzki has his glove over his face. I don't know what he said. We might figure that out eventually, but as of right now, we don't really know what he said. We kind of have a feeling what he said. It might have been, you got to throw this guy in. He's crushed us in the series pretty much, and you got to jam this guy up. Next pitch, fastball in the inner half, ground ball, double play, inning over. And in the bottom half of that inning, we score 4 runs and take the lead. And I think that was a huge turning point, that play by Tulowitzki. Grilli comes out in the 8th, does his job, gets 2 strikeouts, just being ridiculously good. Osuna comes out in the 9th, has a little bit of a shaky time, but it's not a save, so therefore he does, not too great. That's okay, though. We got the win nonetheless. Now let's talk about the bats. I mean, my goodness. Before we talk about them, though, Scott Feldman did get the win, his second as a Blue Jay. He's pitching a little bit better now in the Jays jersey. Jose Bautista has a good night. Goes 3 for 5, scoring 2 runs. I mean, he has a darn good night. Now his average is now up to 229. He's getting there. He's slowly starting to climb up a little bit. Donaldson. Just start throwing the hats out there now, why don't you? 3 home runs. He goes 3 for 4, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs. Like I said, 3 home runs, and also a walk as well. That's just going to make his on-base percentage even better than it is. Oh my goodness, because it's over 400. I know that for a fact. And his average is now 294. That's more like Josh Donaldson, not in the 280s. The 290s is where JD lives. Edwin gets a sac fly to score Bautista in the first inning, so he has an okay game. Martin goes over 3. He had a tough night. But you know what? It's going to happen when you're hot. You're going to have 1 game or 2 games where you're not doing too hot. Tulowitzki's back in the hitting train. He goes 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. He gets a home run himself. And that kind of helped the slow crawl back as it was 5-2 at the game. Solo shot, 5-3. His average is now 253. Kevin Pillar goes 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored as well. He's hitting well, and you can see that we missed him. You can see that we really did miss this guy. His average now 264. Melvin Upton Jr., guys. I mean, when does this guy not disappoint lately? He was 1 for 4 in the game, yes. But in that 7th inning, we were up by 1 run. We had 2 on and 2 out. He decides to hit a gap shot and score 2 more, get the lead to 3. I mean, that was unbelievable piece of hitting. He put it the other way, perfect in the gap, 2 runs scored, just a great job for him. His average now 229 as a J. I mean, it's getting up there. He's getting there. Devin Travis goes 2 for 4. I mean, he gets an RBI. That was the single that just went over Dozier's glove to make it 5-4. It was great. It was great. His glove, there's still, on that tag from Upton, but you know what? As a second baseman myself, that's a darn tough play. Especially on the turf, a ball coming in hot, and it short hops. It's such a tough play to make. He got a piece of it. Didn't end up getting him out. But you know what? Jays win. That's all that matters. They get the sweep, and that was nice. That we can all breathe. We can breathe now. We just swept the Twins. So we end the homestand going 4-2, and you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that one. So Baltimore actually did beat the Yankees 5-0. So I mean, it's not great, but it's not bad because Baltimore won. So therefore, we kept our 3-game lead over them. Also, the Yankees were playing; they were coming in hard. Well, we also beat them as well. Or we also beat what? Baltimore beat them, so therefore they drop a game back. They're now 6.5 behind us. And in the wild card race, the Angels beat the Tigers 5-0, so that hurts them a good bit. And what else we got? Houston's losing to Tampa Bay 4-3, and Seattle's losing 4-1 to the White Sox. So things are looking better, but it's not going to get It's not going to get any easier because tomorrow, this is when the series starts, boys. We talked about tomorrow being one of the biggest series of the year. As of right now, you can kind of picture that last series of the season at Fenway Park as the biggest, but we don't know where the standings are going to look at that point. As of right now, this is one of the biggest series because you can bury Baltimore. We have a 3-game lead over them. Let's say we sweep them. I know it's a long shot because they're two good teams. Let's say we take all 3 games. That's a 6-game lead. That's great. Honestly, I want a series win. I just want to gain ground on them and just push them out. Okay, we're done with you guys. We gained a game. See you later. I'd love that. I want to see the series win, and for goodness sakes, we have a very good chance to. I'm going to check right now. I checked in last night's ball game to see if he played. Let's see if Adam Jones was in the lineup in this game. It doesn't. No, he was not in the lineup once again. So that's back-to-back ones. They might have had him out just to rest up for our series. I don't know. But he was not in the lineup yesterday and not in the lineup today. That would be nice to not see him even in the opener, the second game, or maybe not for the whole series. That would be very, very nice not seeing Adam Jones. So, let's preview the pitching matchups. Marco Estrada looking to bounce back after a couple bad starts. But you know what? He can bounce back. We know he can. Wade Miley going on the mound for Baltimore, 8-10 with a 5.51 ERA. Very winnable ball game. Very winnable ball game. And then game 2, Jay Happ versus Ubaldo Jimenez. I mean, who the Jays absolutely torch. And Jay Happ has done really well this year, 17-4 with a 3.19 ERA. We have a chance to win that one too. And in the finale, Aaron Sanchez makes his return to the rotation. And he's going to be facing Giovanni Gallardo, who you really don't know who you're going to get from one day to the next. Hopefully we get the crappy one. This is a good opportunity. We have the pitchers we want to pitch for us, and we also want the pitchers we want to face. We're facing them. So, and Tampa and Boston's playing Tampa, so there's no guarantees there. So we got to do our job. All right? So, hopefully we can get the dub tomorrow. I mean, I think that's what we really want to get. We want to get the 4-game win streak, open up the series on the right note, kind of get Estrada going again. This is kind of a big game, the first one, because you don't want to have to be trailing in the series 1-0 and then have to win 2, or maybe lose 1, then lose another one and lose the series. Game 1 is the key, I think, really to anything. Playoff series here, home and homes, right? It's just first games of the series kind of tell the tale of how things might go throughout the series. And that was really kind of like the test of game, like what I'm saying is 15-8 in game 1 of the Minnesota series. It says there both teams are going to slug. We won 8-7, then 9-6. There were slugs all 3 games. So game 1 is going to really tell how the Jays are approaching this series. And I think they got a chance to do some pretty good damage here and maybe gain a lot of ground. So that's going to do it for this video. If you guys liked it, hit that like button. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button. Join the crew. And, leave those comments. I love talking to you guys and getting your opinions on everything. And in a little bit, we'll be hearing about any moves. Well, when Navarro comes back, what are they going to be the moves? Totally going to go down? What's going to happen with Dickey? Bo Schultz gets sent down, have 3 catchers. What's going to happen? We'll find out fairly soon. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night after Game 1 of a really big series. And hopefully a Blue Jays win. We'll talk to you guys then.